Nick Wright. We got a fun show today. Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo joins us live with the Final Four right around the corner. That'll be fun.
He did tell me he's going to be yelling at you.
I knew it. Absolutely, and I'm prepared.
And Nick's going to say, I want you to reason with me because I'm going to reason with you back.
Let's just talk it through, Coach.
Like men.
Exactly.
On equal footing.
Exactly right.
Russ and Wilson with an ultimatum for the Seattle Seahawks. That came down yesterday, but we're going to start the program with the NBA champs in action last night. Top two seeds out west, Warriors and Nuggets going at it. Warriors did win the game, 116-102, led by 28 points from Boogie Cousins, giving the Warriors a two-game lead over Denver for a home court advantage in the West. But while they won the game, they lost KD. Kevin Durant ejected in the third quarter for arguing a call, and he was having a great game when it happened, too. KD now just a tech away from a one-game suspension. But let's start with the win. CeCe, what did Golden State show you last night?
They showed you what Nick talked about when they originally put this team together with Boogie Cousins, that Boogie Cousins was the insurance policy in case they have an injury. Because last night with KD, it's like he got hurt.
Yeah.
So he stepped on someone's foot. In the third quarter, he goes out. Oh, man, it's the opportunity for the Denver Nuggets. For the Denver Nuggets. No, because they have too many good players. So, I mean, Boogie Cousins is the answer to that. So when KD went off, and you mentioned it, he was having a sensational game. I mean, he dominated that second quarter. I need to talk to KD because now I got beef with him. I don't know if he realized we on the East Coast, we like basketball. We're going to stay up and watch you, bruh. You can't get thrown to the shower.
Right, in a game that could decide the one seed.
Absolutely. So I know what they've been through. I happen to be in Minneapolis when the call went down, when they lose the game, when he holds Big Cat on the way to the hole on that last inbounds play. So it seems as if that KD now, because he's been teammates with Draymond, that he's going to be like Draymond. And last night, it was not needed for him to get thrown out of the game. When he got the tech, I could understand him complaining. They went all the way down to the other end of the court, but he stays at the referee. Like, it was one of those kind of games where the team's not playing well and the coach gets a tech, and then the coach just insists, like, I'm going to get thrown out, I'm going to get the crowd involved, and hope my... And then KD just kept going on until he got
Except they were up by 20, and he was playing great. Like, all right, so on the game, because I know the big focus is going to be on this, on the game for a moment, because it did decide the one seed. The Warriors are now the one seed. They don't have to worry about the Nuggets, and they were never worried about the Nuggets. The Nuggets, Denver fans been mad at this show all year. You guys talk about the Rockets. You guys said the Thunder maybe could be a threat. Now you're saying the Sixers or the Bucks. Why aren't you talking about us? Because you're not a threat. You are the 60-win Hawks. You're a team with a bunch of really good players and no superstar. Oh, what about Jokic? Where was Jokic last night? I know Draymond at the end of the game was looking for him, asking around, has anyone seen Nikola Jokic? Because I didn't see him. Saw Nikola Jokic in the second half, 2 points, 5 turnovers. You're a nice team, Denver, with a great regular season. But Jokic, as I said before, and I will say again, at one point was so underrated, he became overrated. This was a night for stars, and he didn't show up. And now, forget the one seed, Rockets could catch them for the 2 seed. So Denver, we're done with them for now. Now to Kevin Durant. He was ridiculous last night in the best and worst ways. He was ridiculous at the end of the second quarter. 3 monster dunks where he looks like Spider-Man, just going to the rim, seemingly getting longer as he goes, and giving his team energy.
He played for a couple minutes like Giannis.
Absolutely.
He just basically started taking the ball, either three-point line, half court, few dribbles, and he was at the rim.
And when he plays like that, that's when, if you look at it in a snapshot, you're like, well, that should be the best player in the world. Because he can do what Giannis can do while being the best shooting 7-footer ever. He also had a great block on the other end, was doing it all. And then he complains about, it's not like it was a bad no call. It was questionable. He was mad he didn't get this call. Maybe he got fouled. It wasn't blatant. He is whining and yelling and fine. You get a technical. But then he's going after him after getting the technical, and now you're going to get thrown out. You have Boogie trying to stop him.
And this is one of the prominent refs in the NBA. Like, we're going to see him
Yeah.
In the NBA playoffs. So not only Draymond, the rest of these Warriors, Boogie, everything they went through. Now they even got Steph involved in it. Steph's laughing and clowning at the ref.
Pointing and laughing at the ref, which is why they went against him in that Timberwolves game. I never seen it end quite like that, but this, I think, built on that. They were frustrated at the refs from the previous game. They said that ref was the MVP. But Kevin Durant then, listen, these refs are human beings. And when you do what Steph does here, which I've never seen done, point and laugh and taunt the official. When the game, it's not like that was the game-winning shot. That was the game-tying shot. They were going to have to go to overtime, and then the refs kind of gave.
Right. Well, the reason because KD hit one before that they negated was an unbelievable play. It was just as nice as Steph, and they thought the refs were trying to take the game from them.
And maybe they were. But when I say the refs are human, the refs remembered, of course, Steph pointing and laughing, and then they made a very questionable call that gave the game to the Timberwolves. And you don't think Zarba's going to remember Kevin Durant, after being thrown out, calling him a BAMF? I mean, I can't say any of the words he said. And so, like, I mean, he said it as pointedly as you possibly could. I'll tell you off the air what he said. It was bad stuff.
Okay.
And so, like this is, you're going to have to deal with these guys. And I just don't know what KD's so angry about. He didn't get stepped under. It wasn't a situation where it's like, man, I could have gotten seriously hurt. It was a non-call when you're up 20, having a brilliant game in a big game. And to get yourself thrown out and to add another ref that now, because they're human, I don't know if they're going to get the 50-50 calls. That ain't smart. That's not how NBA superstars are supposed to conduct themselves.
What about their actual game and the way they're playing? We've talked all week about when they're going to turn it into, all month, a playoff mode and get ready for the end here. And let's see the team that we're going to see in the playoffs. Now that you say Denver's out of it, is this the team, I mean, aside from the relationship that a lot of this team seems to have with the referees, is this the way, the style of play, the effort they're putting forth that you're going to see in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
The switch has been flipped.
This is the best version of the Warriors, where the Durant, they were sharing the ball. They had a bunch of beautiful possessions with no dribbles and just pass, open shot. Steph hit some impossible shots. And then late in the game, because Boogie did he had 28, but 16 of those came in the second half. Once KD got thrown out, they went to Boogie more, particularly in the fourth quarter, and he closed it out for him. Like, no, the Warriors, and now they're going to have home court throughout the Western Conference playoffs, and we'll see if they have it in the finals. Depends on who they go up against if they get there. But yeah, the Warriors are going to go into the playoffs healthy as well, it would appear, which is probably the most important thing for them.
Yes, and I think Draymond, we talked about his shooting during the season. He had a bad toe injury that he was working with. A lot of people didn't talk about. He seems to be healthier, playing better on the defensive end. There were times in last night's game, they looked like the Globetrotters. I mean, it's amazing how well they passed the ball. And it was like, Steph, when he's done, going to hit a trick shot on you. Like, that's how well, and it's as if they hit the switch. A lot of times in sports, people talk about it. But, man, the Warriors won the few teams because of the talent, because of the way they play. They can go to the switch, even with Kevin Durant, their best player in the shower. Maybe not their most important, but I believe they're best.
And to your point on Draymond pre-All-Star break, around 24% from three, just unbelievably bad. Post-All-Star break, 35%. And they don't need him to be 38% like he was the 73 win year. They just need him to be to where you can't play 14 feet off him and play 4-on-5. So that's important. Bogut only played 5 minutes, but gave him good minutes. He also gave Nikola Jokic work because Jokic only plays one end of the court. Like, this was a depressing loss for Denver, a very good win for Golden State. And the only reason there is anything negative to talk about it is because Kevin Durant acted a fool for no reason.
All right, Warriors win thanks to just about everyone on their team. Thunder won thanks to one guy, Russell Westbrook. He had an historic performance last night. We'll talk about that next on FS1. You can always check us out on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We're back right after this.